A pair of Game 3s on Friday night. Welcome to Playoff Central Live. Chris Miles here with Vince Carter and Udonis Haslem. And how about those Denver Nuggets? After giving up 87 points in the first half of Game 2, they brought their defense back home to Denver. Nikola Jokic, also known as the Joker, coming dressed as the Joker. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finished second, the MVP voting last year, finalist this year.
Go get it.
But how about Chet Holmgren running the floor for the score?
I was just looking how high he got off the ground.
Barely.
I wish I could. That's crazy.
Well, this is also crazy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in transition, OKC building an 8-point lead. Nikola Jokic struggling to find his shot. Just 8 points in the first half, 2 for 9 from the field. But back to the Chet Holmgren part of the program, catching the alley-oop.
Go get it, big fellas. Man, I love that 7'3". I know he can shoot the ball well from the perimeter, but I love when he gets down in the paint, gets easy, aggressive buckets, and high percentage shots.
18 points, 16 rebounds for Chet. Michael Porter Jr. made 5 threes. He had 21 points after just 10 points in the first 2 games of this series combined. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in an efficient night for him, just 18 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, a double-double with 10 and 10. Thunder up 5 at the half. Vince, Nikola Jokic, 8 turnovers, tying a playoff career high, led to some points on the other end here.
Yeah, I mean, OKC's defense has just been in boxes and elbows, just in his area. Every time Joker was going into his move, they were trying to put hands, bodies, make him see a crowd to make it tough for him.
No crowd going to stop this tough shot. The spin, the English,
the kiss
by Jamal Murray. And how about some defense? UD, are you with me? Peyton Watson rising.
Hell yeah, this is the playoff, multiple efforts. It looks like a layup, but I'm going to contest this and either going to get a foul or I'm going to get a block, and you're going to have to earn it from the free throw line.
Told you a tough shooting night for the Joker, but still he puts Denver up by 2, 4 minutes to go.
Ooh, hezzy.
Jalen Williams, 16 points in the fourth quarter. Jamal Murray getting buckets late. Denver up 2. A playoff career high 32 for J-Dub. But AG hanging out in the corner. His team down by 3. Big bucket after big bucket for him in the series.
That's what he's done. He's just hit shot after shot to take some pressure off the Stars.
The Joker for the win. No bien. So we go into overtime. Joker 0 for 10 from long range. No makes from 3. Second most three-point attempts with no makes in NBA playoff history. Still finished with 20-16. 6 helpers.
That's crazy.
Close the door. Jamal Murray. Nuggets in the game in overtime in the end of the fourth quarter on a 14-2 run. It's the first time since 2020 a team outscored their opponents in OT by 9 or more in a playoff game. Let's hear from both teams.
I mean, we've been together for years, so we knew what we had. We know what we believe in. We believe in each other, and we're gonna need more of it. You know, tonight's just another step in the right direction. We know we can be better than this, but we're gonna celebrate tonight with a win and get ready for Game 4.
A few of the shots felt good. More than a few. They didn't go in, obviously. But it ultimately felt like a lot of settling for jump shots. And I always say, like, jump shots, the consistency of jump shots always goes up and goes down. Like, you get hot some nights you miss. But the most reliable thing is the paint in the rim. And I don't think I did a good enough job again to that late game. Now there's probably various reasons why, and myself and the rest of the team will figure out why for the next situation. But I think I for sure could have been better.
Nope. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to understand, 7 for 22 from the field, held to just 18 points in no shot attempts in overtime. How did Denver change up from giving up 87 points in the first half, right, of Game 2 to giving up just 104 points in OT here in Game 3, the way they defended SGA?
Well, he got isolations. He was seeking some matchups that he liked. And then late in the fourth quarter, middle to late in the fourth quarter, they started now to put bodies on him. Like they were doing to Jokic, he started to see extra bodies. You see here, this is a corral. Mm-hmm. Then there's a stunt. There's another stunt from the other side to make him settle. In your mind, you're starting to try to find that shot clock, and you get to 8 the clock. You can't look, but you just kind of count it down and you rush your shot here. Making the right play, guys now have to finish shots to help with the corral and put in bodies, because if you're not making shot, defenses will still play boxes and elbows and put multiple guys on him. You see it? Great defense. Not allowing him to go baseline, bringing him to the help, to the double team. Making someone else make a decision. Mm-hmm. And from there, you create a turnover, you start your fast break. So what they did, they just kind of took a page from what OKC did to the big fella and turned it and did it to Shea.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say they were just disruptive. I think they let him get into his bag, they let him get to his spots, and it was timely disruption where they came from the weak side. Right when he felt comfortable, he went and it was two people there, so he was uncomfortable. And I think what that does, and you know this as a scorer, you're starting to be unsure about when to shoot. You're uncomfortable when you do take a shot, and you're speeding yourself up, and you don't have a rhythm. It doesn't feel good. And I think basketball players, we're big on feel. How does it feel? How do we feel out there when we take a shot? And I think even when you get an open shot due to that, it's still hard to make because you just don't have that rhythm and you don't feel good about your shot. So, like you said, they did a good job. They took a page out of Denver's book, but I think Shea will go back. He'll watch the film. He'll understand that he needs to make that late pass like he did to Jalen Williams at the top of the key for that three, and they'll make that adjustment.
And quickly, he also said in his interview, he needs to attack the rim. He settled for jump shots. So immediately he knows his mistakes, and he's already in adjust mode for Game 4.
How about the Denver Nuggets balance scoring? Because they had 4 players score 20 or more. Yeah. They did this last year in the playoffs against the Los Angeles Lakers. For Aaron Gordon, 7 for 11. Michael Porter Jr., 7 for 10. Mm-hmm. It seemed to offset the fact that Nikola Jokic had such an off night.
Yeah, and this is what you want. Obviously, you depend on the Joker, but other guys can get it going. Murray got it going. You get in that two-man game, and if you're not going to guard me the way that I think you should guard me, then I'm going to pull up like I left my phone. He was getting to his spots. We talk about Aaron Gordon. He was making shots from the perimeter, also getting dunks in the paint. We talked about Michael Porter Jr., who I think is so ignitable that regardless of how many he misses, you always want him to shoot the next one because you know he can get it going, and you have complete confidence in him.
He says complete confidence in someone. Aaron Gordon in this series has a game-winning dunk, has a game-winning three, and when it was late in this one in the corner, also hit a three. This is a guy who shot a career-high 44% from three-point range after not being such a good three-point shooter. We always ask the question, end of the game, is it going to be Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams? For the Nuggets, it was the Joker and Jamal. Now it seems like there's more answers to that quiz.
Well, with both of the guys that you guys talked about, by them playing well, doing what they do, they allowed their 2 stars to play well in overtime when they need it because of the hesitation. When you can't leave Aaron Gordon in the quarter, which they did. He knocks down one. You can't leave Michael Porter because he's hit some big-time threes throughout the course of the game and in the second half. So what does that do defensively? When you tell me to be boxing elbows now, I hear you, Coach, but my man, I can't let my man score.
Man to score.
Correctly. You don't want to look at that film and you're like, oh, man, that's my man, such and such. But you have a decision to make. And that's the beauty of the superstars that they have. They're unselfish and they understand, let me feed and get these guys going early so I can eat all I want in the fourth quarter or second half.
And it forces you to trust.
Yes.
It forces you to trust your teammates. And I don't think anybody trusts their teammates more than the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
Those guys have been together. They've been in that locker room. He trusts Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon trusts Joker. Joker trusts Murray. They trust Russ. These guys are trusting each other.
Well, you speak on that, and I think about the fact that you've been with a team that when you win a championship together and then you get back to this point, what's the difference between how much you trust each other when you've been to the mountaintop like the Denver Nuggets?
Unbelievable amount of trust. You don't care if he missed 10. You don't care if you lost the last game. You still believe in that trust in those guys. And also, I'm going to tell you something that we talked about earlier. And once you get a group that have been to the mountaintop and you haven't gotten there the last couple of years, you start to understand and look around the locker room and say, listen, if we don't get it together, they're going to blow it up. If we don't figure it out, they're going to blow it up, and rightfully so. This is a league that's about winning championships. We've set the bar high a few years ago, so the expectation every year is that we're supposed to be in that conversation. There's a business side to this. Now you're playing for the guys in the locker room because you want to continue to stay together. That's your brotherhood. That was your connection.
Again, a veteran team trying to stay together. We're seeing that with the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, you just, you follow your stars, your leaders and your stars. And Jamal Murray said it. He said, we've been together. We trust each other. You've said it. So everybody follows suit.
We saw the top seed out west take a loss. They are down 2-1 in round 2. What about the top seed in the East? They get the win, but are still down 2-1. That's up next on Playoff Central Live. Game 3 between the Cavs and the Pacers. Donovan Mitchell averaging 40 in the series. Darius Garland back after missing 4 games. And, of course, Tyrese Halliburton hit the game winner in Game 2. Donovan Mitchell coming out hot on fire. Cavs scored the first 11 points of the game. Vince, verticality can't stop this.
And hang time. This guy here is seeking bodies. I'm going to spin off you, punch your body, hang time. Where's the square? Look at this.
On the other end, Pacers get a surge from their bench. Benedict Mathurin, 8 in the first quarter, 23 in the game. Halliburton, an off night. He made just 2 shots. 4 points, a playoff career low for him. But hold on, here's the buzzer beater at the end of the first, courtesy of Ben Shepherd. We're tied at 32. But UD, the Strus, is loose.
Yes.
Max Strus.
Yes, sir. Max Strus has been here before. He was battle-tested. He would not let the last game impact him or affect him. He came out, no hesitation, let it fly. And he took the defensive challenge. I love that.
Cleveland up 21 at the half. A huge second quarter, allowed just 13 points. Let your throw show. Jared Allen with the throwdown.
That's old school, though.
Right.
Well, what about this? New school need to learn, though. Max Strus burning like an inferno. This time throwing the alley-oop to Evan Mobley. Mobley, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals in his return. Pascal Siakam trying to cut into that deficit. Nice pass by Obi Toppin. Pacers were down by 19. Siakam. Oh, could we see another crazy comeback?
Open.
8:22 to go. 11-point game. You could feel the energy. And Donovan Mitchell, more than a relief pitcher, he's the closer, Vince.
He is that. And he felt when it was time to hang time, to show my hang time, let me lean on it.
And rock with
Then lay it.
Back-to-back 40-point games for Donovan Mitchell, 43, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Cavs get their first win of this series with a 22-point win. Here's Coach of the Year, Kenny Atkinson, on his All-Star, Donovan Mitchell.
I thought he was masterful. I don't use that word hardly ever. He was masterful in the way he controlled the game and not passing, making the right decision, defending. Probably, for me, best performance of the year.
It's hard to blow a team out by 20 in their place. We saw that last game, even in our place. It's hard to be up 20. It's hard to keep a lead. It's just hard in this league. You know what I mean? Understanding who they are. They're not a team that's going to fold easily. Ultimately, all we did was win 1 game. We got to do it again.
It's great that we won 2 games in a row and everything, I'm sure everybody's excited, but, you have a team on the other side that wants to accomplish something too, and it's going to be a fight, and we got to be the team that fights the most and fights harder, and I think we're going to do that next game.
This is us not playing with enough presence, posture, disposition, whatever you want to call it, and so we've got to fix it, and we've got 48 hours to do it.
And kudos to Kenny Atkinson, Donovan Mitchell, a masterful performance, using his athleticism to peak performance for his 43.
Absolutely. And he has his guys back. So for him, he wanted to set the tone, being aggressive. And he was strategic on his approach. You see here, you're going to pick me up at half court. I'm just going to wait for my screen, get downhill, and from there, you get the matchup you want. The dunk attempt's not there, but the hang time and the layup is. He's great with using his body. Only at 6'1.5", some say 6'3", whatever you choose. And say here, being patient, letting the offense happen, catch and shoot, zero hesitation, understanding. I got to take advantage of these opportunities. You're going to pick me up full court? Now I split. 2 guys are out of the way. 3 guys are out of the way. Easy layup. just being fast, just understanding when I need to score. You see those numbers there, 33, 48, 43. He's having himself a series, and he's doing his part.
Yeah, averaging 40 in a series. But UD, there's one thing to look at the stats. Another thing to understand, in that first quarter, he came out with intention. And then in the fourth quarter, he closed with intention because he was like, oh, no. Not another comeback.
Yeah.
We see what's happening around the NBA in these playoffs.
And that's what your star player does. He comes out early, he gets it going, then he starts to instill confidence in the other guys. He gets his rhythm, then he instills confidence in the other guys. They get their rhythm. You play the game the right way. And then when it's winning time, you put the ball in his hands and you let him do what he does. Some of that stuff that he's doing, that's just God-given. I couldn't do that. I don't know damn what. I could not do that. So some of that stuff he's doing is God-given. But the way he shoots the ball from the perimeter as well makes him that much more difficult to guard. So I love what he's doing. I love what this team is doing. They still got their hands full with this Indiana Pacers team. These guys are not going back down. They're not going to fold.
And the key thing that I like about him, a superstar that is distributing early. And what that means is I get to do what I want in the second half and the fourth quarter. If Max Strus, D. Hunter, any of my shooters are making shots, or I'm getting the lob, or anything I'm getting in the first three quarters, you have to be aware of that. And if you're guarding them, you're a little hesitant. Mm-hmm. You're a little hesitant on the double team in your shows and your closeouts. So the fourth quarter, you have a decision to make.
Yes.
And now Donovan Mitchell can go do his thing. So for you young players out there, hey, get your guys going early. Mm-hmm. It makes for a great fourth quarter for you, and you can be the star that you want to be.
I keep hearing fourth quarter, but it was the second quarter that was decisive defensively for the Cavs. Kenny Atkinson went into his zone and allowed just 13 points, 3 for 11. The Pacers were from the field. Didn't make any shots from the outside in the entire quarter. What did you notice about that zone that caused so much havoc for Indiana?
Well, he mentioned early that they went to the zone because they had guys in foul trouble, but I also think they went to the zone to throw a monkey wrench and slow Indiana down. Right here, Max Strus stunts at the ball just to get Nembhard to hesitate. That way, Donovan Mitchell can get back over. They got 3 guys on the perimeter, but they're communicating and they're passing guys off. So all they're doing is not guarding a man, they're guarding the space. Max Strus pushed the guy up to Merrill. He gets back down to his space, and now he drives in the paint. Max Strus, who brought the guy up and communicated that switch, went back down to the paint. So now you got him in the paint. I love this because we have Evan Mobley at 6 foot at the top of my zone. How many teams can put their 7 foot at the top of your zone? They throw the skip pass. We rotate. Everybody converges. We got 4 guys in the paint. There's only 1 guy out. They make the pass. There is nobody home. I love the fact that they went to the zone to slow them down, but also it gets your defense activated because there's no way you can play a good zone without communication. Everybody has to be talking. Everybody has to be communicating and pushing guys to a spot.
I guess it helps to get the Defensive Player of the Year back after missing the game, Vince. His stats, 18, 13, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 3 steals. And you heard Max Strus tell us, he's like, it was great to have him out there.
100%. So if you're out there guarding the best player, I feel comfortable pushing up on him, sending him baseline, sending him to my help. Obviously, you're guarding a great player, so you're going to get beat sometimes. But guess what? You beat me baseline, my shot blocker is there. And if he doesn't block it, he's going to make you at least change your shot. And that's just the beauty of having a Mobley who's athletic, he has great timing, and your defense is on a string now. You're whole. And now what they've done all year defensively, it just takes a nod.
Yes.
I'll be there. I know, okay, cool. I'm going to push him, bring him to me. I know that. And then now I have to help the helper. And they've done that. And he's done a great job. Not only did he block the shot, he blocked the shots. He was blocking shots inbound for them to get the ball and start their break.
Max Strus, back-to-back games with over 20 for the first time in his career, but it was 27-7. And in that first quarter, he had 8 points. It was like, okay, I'm going to have this energy and forget about that turnover at the end of game 2.
Wanted all the smoke. And I know how Max is. He is very, very hard on himself. So I'm sure he went home that night. He probably didn't get much sleep. But the thing about him is he couldn't wait to bounce back and get on the court. You see right now he's doing it from all 3 levels. He's getting to the paint. He's shooting threes. He's getting offensive rebounds and loose balls, 50-50 balls. Like, I'm guaranteeing they probably didn't run one play for Max Strus tonight. The ball found his energy, even on the tip out where he was just bouncing around in the right area and the ball just came to him and he got a lip. When you're playing hard, there's a karma to that. And Max Strus came out and played his butt off tonight, and there was just a karma. The ball was finding him.
Yeah, excellent to be on a graphic with LeBron James as well. Speaking of guys that are on graphics that are through the roof, this guy as well. We get you ready for another potential Brunson burner Knicks tape back at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. The Knicks and the Celtics. New York up 2-0 in Game 3 going to Madison Square Garden. Timberwolves and Warriors series tied at 1-1, but that matinee at 3:30, the Knicks and the Celtics, back-to-back 20-point comeback wins for the Knicks. Vince.
Well, this is some biased energy.
You played in New York. You understand the energy. Wow. Do you think the Knicks can keep it up, or do you think the Celtics are going to figure out a way to get right?
I mean, I do think the Celtics will figure out a way. I mean, they're champions. They understand what it takes, and you go through ups and downs. At the same time, you've given life to Knicks fans and these guys, and they're going to go in the Garden. Now, the question is, do you go in overconfident and not play your style of basketball and you play hero ball? I know Tibbs is going to, try to settle them in, but
to his point, the Knicks have a worse record at home in the playoffs than they do on the road.
I thought that was a Boston Celtics tie you had on tonight. I thought that's not the Celtics, fellas?
It is. It's called reverse psychology. Man, you got to be smart.
That was a Boston Celtics.
You got to be smart against your opponents.
If you're the defending champions, you go in there and you're not worried about that. You had 2 20-point leads. You just have to focus on finishing the game. There's no time to be changing who you are. You are who you are. But I will say this with Jason Tatum, instead of 5 out, we need to get him in more pick and rolls, get him in the paint. And then defensively, I think you need to do a little more with trapping on Brunson, get the ball out of his hands, and make other guys beat you down the stretch.
I like that.
Certainly worth the price of admission. The Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks are Game 3 on a Saturday matinee. Thank you for hanging out with us here on Playoff Central Live.